What is up, gang? It is I, Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro.
Yay!
And today we've got to jump into the action on Wynn at the specific request of my man Tomas in the Crypto Pro Telegram group. I have pulled off a swing trade, and I'm going to tell you what I'm doing here and explain everything. But before I do, you must understand that this is not financial advice. If you take this too seriously, you could end up losing your buns. So be responsible for your own decisions and know that this is a very dangerous market. Okay, jumping in on the 4-hour chart, I'm going to tell you what I did. I started buying back into Wynn after swing trading it before and making money. And I had several price points, and I'll even show you the exact price points. Let me just pull up my chart here. Here's my table. And so for Wynn, I purchased on the 18th of May. I got 5,000 at 0.0039. Then I did a DCA on the 26th, 10,000 at 0.0036. Then I DCA'd that same day, getting another 10,000 at 0.0033 for an average DCA price of 0.0035. I sold at 0.0072, so I made more than a double. I took my $89.10 and I cashed that out for actually it was right at like 189. I made $100, whatever the case is. I made a little bit more than a double. So the time that I was making those purchases was down here when we were below the bottom, dipping below the bottom of this channel, where price was less than 0.004. So this was my DCA zone. I was just buying, all right? This entire zone down here is basically a consolidation zone. So from this point all the way through to here is a long consolidation, and that's why I was buying, because price was flat. What happens when you come out of a consolidation move? You have an explosion, and that happened right here. So I got up in the middle of the night and I decided to take profits after we broke through the top of this support resistance zone. So since we didn't hit our heads on this and come back down, well, we hit our head on it once, came down, came up and broke above it, and then it came down again and then went above it a third time. So I sold right here at 0.0072. You see what it did? It went to 0.0012, where I would have made nearly 3.5 times what I invested, but you can't be greedy. And so what I always say is give it time, wait for them. They always come back to get you. Now we've corrected back down, almost down to where I sold. So technically I could just jump back in. But I'm happy I made my $100 profit. And so I can come back in right now, or I can wait, and I'm going to jump back in, but let's look and see where that point is going to be. Based on this 4-hour chart, it's going to be the top of the support resistance zone box, and that price would be at 0.0069. So then I'll be less than my selling point, which would be pretty nice. That means I will not have skipped a beat. But we need to look at the 1-hour chart to see what's happening in the immediate, and we see a stochastic that is on the rise. So with this stochastic moving up, and we've already just about made it to the zero line here, we see the lagging MACD oscillators are still bearish and divergent, where the fast line, the blue, is below the orange. It hasn't even hinted at crossing over yet. So whenever I see this, I kind of wait, because stochastic is going up, but price is staying flat. All right. So that tells me that we're just stuck at this price node right here in this node where it's about 0.0075. Okay. So I don't trust this yet. I think we're still going to consolidate for a little. Oops, I hit the stop button. I was trying to draw and I stopped my video. Okay. So anyway, what I was trying to do is to tell you that we're in the zone here where we're between the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA on the 1-hour chart. So we're like kind of stuck in here in this box, kind of bouncing up and around. And I'm going to wait for more clues to know if we're going to get out of this box before I buy back in. Now we need to go back to the 4-hour chart, and this says we're still correcting. And then there's another indication that tells me, let me wait. What is it? It's this crossover right there. That is a bearish cross of the lagging MACD oscillators, and we're also still printing solid red on the histogram. So we're falling away from the zero line. So momentum on this thing is telling me we're going down, all right? And this could curl around and turn, and it might not. It might continue down and go into oversold zone, which is what I would love it to do. If we can get down here, let me get a circle. I want a circle. If we can get down here, that's where I would like to buy back in. Ideally, I would love it if we would fail this zone and get back into here, head back down towards 0.004. If we do that, I'm going to make a pile of money on this, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm going to wait and see what happens at the top of this box to see if this is support or resistance. If we fail it, good times ahead. If we hit it and we bounce up again, I'll look at the indicators here and see if this is played out and can turn around, and then I'll make that decision. So that's on the 4-hour chart. But let's look and see what the 1-day chart is saying. The 1-day chart is saying, fool, you better wait. Why do I say that? Well, let's scrunch this down, and I'll show you why I'm saying that. I need to scrunch it way down first so you can see this. What you're looking at to me is a bump within a correction, all right? A bear market rally. We are in a bull market, and let me identify the stages of the market on here so you can understand what I'm talking about. So here's my counting tool. This is the previous bull market, which is the end of the cycle, and this is the phase 4 markup phase, or I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, phase 3. So you have accumulation, consolidation, markup, where you hit price discovery, and then you have distribution. All right, that is a complete cycle. All right, now we're in a new cycle. See where the green box starts? We're at the end of the distribution mode, and we found a new base. So now let's clear that out and change the color to orange and number it again. This is now accumulate. Oops, let's clear that and clear the numbering. This is accumulation. Okay, and this, I don't think we're going to call this consolidation yet. I don't even know if we can call it here. So we'll just say maybe a late consolidation is coming, but we're not in the markup phase yet. That's going to happen in the bull market. And then, of course, you got your blow off top. So if I were to draw a price line in here, it would look something like this. So you got accumulation. Consolidation is when you get a bump where it starts to hint, but it stays above a previous level, and we're not doing that yet. So I don't know if this is consolidation. And then markup is where you go parabolic up, okay? And then you'll go distribution at the end of the market. So I think it's early. So let's zoom in now that we see here that the current action is not impressing me at all right? Now, let's just look at this. Let's draw another line here. From these peaks up here, we're coming down. And if we draw a smooth line, we see that we're really poking our head. You can call this consolidation. Here's the reason. Here's the reason. Let's put an arrow. This is the high, lower high, lower high, lower high, bump. Now let's see where the price is of this bump. Did that peak poke through the previous peak? No, it did not. It only matched it. So it's a 50-50 shot. This could be the consolidation move right here, and it might not be. And so what can happen is if we haven't broken anything significant, it's going to go down. But if we look at the previous failed lower highs, so we've got high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, and then we switch. Okay, slightly higher high, definite higher high in relation to this action here. So there's another argument to say that we might be in consolidation. All right, so now that I've gotten that out of the way, we see that this bump is nothing to write home about. It's not time for the parabolic move. Now let's go ahead and roll this up a little bit and look at the other indicators now that we see the history of it. So we definitely have broken this lagging, sagging 50 EMA, and that's positive. And we're above this 200. Well, the 200 EMA is not showing on this chart. Okay, I don't see a 200 EMA. There's not enough data on here to have a 200 exponential moving average. But we are above the 50 EMA. And if we look at the MACD, It's not that impressive, okay? Look at the bars where they're at up here at serious price action at above 1.50 cents. We go below, we come above, not much to write home about. We go below, we come above, not much to write home about. We go below, slightly above. We go below, slightly more above. You know, a little encouraging. So I'm looking at this chart and I'm thinking I can gamble and I can wait and see if we can get back into this box. All right. Now, the point of control price, according to this chart, is at 0.005291. If we do 0.005291, that's where I start to DCA. I don't know if we'll go back down to 0.004. I don't know about that. Now, if we draw some lines here, let's just make some baselines. We got this baseline there. But then we might be able to, call the bottom of the zone another baseline, okay? In fact, let's make that blue. So the bottom of the support resistance zone can be the new baseline. And that new baseline price, like I was saying, well, that's actually 0.0038, 0037. Yeah. I don't think we're going to make it down there. Let's see, well, what's the next line? Well, let's see here. The next one above that looks like there's confluence somewhere around 0.0047, all right? Let's see if we can find enough touch points that we can justify that. We might have to come up a little bit. It's either between 0.0047 and then I'm almost liking the point of control price of 0.0053. So let's draw a line at 0.0053, okay, just above the point of control price. And then that would be my ideal target for me to buy back in. So then instead of getting 25,000, I'm going to get 50,000, or I might throw some more money at it and get 100,000 and then ride that for the bull run. But if I can get some more action, I'm going to swing trade it. I'm not going to turn down making money when it's very clear to me. So when I'm swing trading, what I do is I'm buying here and I'm selling here. Okay? What if you did that at every previous peak? Let's just look and see what would happen. If I bought at this low point, I'm down here at 0.0033. And then if I would have sold at this peak, that was at 2 cents. Let me scrunch it down and see what was that peak there. Good Lord, that was at 3 cents. All right. So I would have sold at 3 cents and made a 10x. All right. So then if I would have waited for it to get down to oversold again right here, I would have been buying at the point of control price of 0.005. At the next peak, which would have been hard to determine because we never made it above the 80 line, if you would have sold, you would have been out at roughly a penny. You would have made a profit. If you bought back in at the next dip, you'd be down here at 0.00 at a very attractive price of 0.02781. And I was going to buy at that one and I missed it. And it ran up a mini run and it came up to the next peak, this one, and you would have come up to 0.005. Not much profit on that swing trade. The next dip took you back down to 0.0028 and it didn't really make a peak up. You wouldn't have been able to catch it. But on this peak, you would have made from 0.0027 all the way to 1.4 cents. So you would have made 369.12 like a 4x. So if you're a swing trader, you can jump in and out of this one. This is one of the easiest charts to read. It's why I like it. All right. That is my strategy. And if it doesn't work out, I'm going to run to a chart that is very similar. Now, let me just click on the 1 week chart. You can't tell much, but it looks like we have a crossover and the stochastic is coming up. So the correction's not going to last long. And this confirms to me that I think the best time to DCA for me would be as we approach and come into the box. Okay. I might even DCA if we touch the top of the box and buy all the way down to the point of control price. But if I miss it, hey, guess what? Duco's already at a 0.5 cent and it's moving. I should have bought in Duco down here. I was going to buy it at 0.0016 and I missed it. And look what it did. So we're going to have to wait and see what Duco does. I would like Duco to peak out here and come on back down to the top of this box at 0.003 and then I'm jumping on. But it's looking very bullish. All right. I could also jump over to Turbo that doesn't know what it wants to do yet. The next video is coming, but I think Turbo is going to correct. And I won't tell you what it's correcting to, but that's on the next video. So that is all we have for the Wynn trade. Let me know if you found this valuable and if it helped you to understand what I just pulled off. And tell me if you're holding the bag. And otherwise, I would love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe to the Crypto Pro channel. And if you would like to help support me in this channel to defray the cost of production, you may do so with the giving of a super thanks. In fact, if you give a super thanks of like $10 and ask me to do TA, 10 to 20 bucks, I'm going to give you some TA. And I'll probably even live stream, and you can purchase an analysis from me. That's all I got for now. This is Carlton, and I am out.